We issued the bench warrant back on September 11th, so there's a bench warrant out because I didn't have a payment on September 10th. Now I have the two payments. I don't know, so it's just a lot of work for my office to keep issuing bench warrants and then having to unissue the bench warrant.
He says he has no vehicle. Does he have a driver's license? A valid driver's license?
Is this a question of the court or of someone else that, I mean,
Tanya Furlan versus Jason Latrell. And Miss Crabby, we last got together on August 13th. He had made a $400 payment August 10th and was ordered to make his payment by September for a bench warrant issue. Where are we at?
So Your Honor, we had a long conversation last time about what to do if, I guess things came through the day of or the day after, mostly the day after. You had ordered a payment to be made by the 10th of each month. Jason made a payment on the 12th. I'm showing, and that may have been, yeah, I'm a little confused. One came in on the 12th, and I think that might have been, and he can maybe tell me, one that he made. I also have another one that was for $210. I have another one, a receipt from today, which looks like $204.98, which would not have posted yet and has not posted yet. That looks like that's dated today. I got the notification of that at 1:30-ish. So needless to say, we issued the bench warrant back on September 11th. So there's a bench warrant out because I didn't have a payment on September 10th or by September 10th. Now I have the two payments. I don't know, so it's just a lot of work for my office to keep issuing bench warrants and then having to unissue the bench warrant. And so that's where we're at. We can do this again next month, I suppose.
Mr. Latrell, why are you chronically 2-3 days late?
Your Honor, I'm doing the best I can. I don't have a vehicle. I'm picking up work as I can, and I'm doing the very best I can. And I'm aware of my responsibilities, and I'm pledged to make sure that they're taken care of. I'm in a tight bind right now. I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm trying to make ends meet. And so when I get work, I turn it in as soon as I get paid. And so that's the only answer I have. I'm aware of my responsibilities, and I'm trying my best to make sure they get paid.
And we've talked in the past about how much simpler this would be if you would work ahead and get 1 month ahead so that you wouldn't have these problems.
I agree, Your Honor. I absolutely agree. And I'm doing my best to do so.
Because you keep paying, but you're always 2 days late. What do you propose, Mr. Latrell?
I mean, I'm doing the best that I can, Your Honor. I can't, come up with money if I don't have it. I mean, I've sold a bunch of things. I've got things listed to sell. Like I said, without transportation, it's been making work a little more difficult. So I'm picking up what I can when I can, and hopefully get the vehicle fixed. But I'm aware of my responsibilities, and I've been, paying these things as soon as I can. So that's where I'm at. I'm currently working on a job. I got more work coming in, so that's a good thing. So I'd love to get a week ahead or a month ahead, excuse me, and that way we don't have this conversation. I agree wholeheartedly. It'd be the ideal thing to do.
Now, if you could get 1 month ahead, then if you run into a day or two delay, you're still fine because you're paying ahead of time.
Sure. When I had to pay them larger setbacks when I did get picked up on those bonds, and I had to come up with the $1,500. Obviously, that was a large amount of money to come up with. But if I'm sitting in jail, I can't make any money. And and then when I had to come up with that amount of money to get out, and in which it's my own fault, I realize that. But the fact of the matter is, $1,500 is a lot to come up with at one time. So it has made it difficult to recover from. But I'm definitely doing the best that I can. I'm very much aware of my responsibilities. I'm not denying that.
Your Honor.
Yes.
He says he has no vehicle. Does he have a driver's license? A valid driver's license?
Latrell, there's a question as to whether you have a valid driver's license.
Is this a question of the court or of someone else?
Well, the question's asked, but it's a good question. Do you have?
As far as I know, I do. I mean, I could ask I haven't had it ran lately. I guess I was unaware of that. I don't have one. Last I knew, I have a CDL.
Okay, well, make sure you have a valid license if you're driving.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll check into it because evidently someone knows something that I don't.
Miss Crabby.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was actually going to ask that question as well. So, just to make sure that he, once the car is fixed, does have a way to get around. I guess, I'm going to request the same thing that I requested last time, that I requested the month before that and the month before that. I'm still going to keep the cash bond at 500, if the court would so allow. I would remind the court and Mr. Latrell, the reason it was 1,500, and I do realize that's hard to recover from. The reason it was that amount is because the lesser amounts weren't doing anything. Because the lesser amounts, every time I had a lesser amount, he would come up with it, but he would skip 2 months before a payment would be made. And so using the bond to make the payment is great, except that that still put him behind. So that's why it's at 1,500. I'm going to request that it remain at 1,500. I would request that he continue to make that payment of 400 by the 10th of the month. We're going to continue with the court's permission to issue a bench warrant on the 11th, I guess, if it's not made. So I just want Jason to be aware of that. I think he's aware of that at this point. But you know, it's causing my staff and me having to review things more than, 3 or 4 times a month to see what's going on. So we're going to request the same thing, that we come back in a month and see where we're at.
Now, you understand, Mr. Latrell, for half the price of a bond, you could get a month ahead.
Absolutely, Your Honor. I'm very much aware of the math on it, and I'm doing the best I can. I mean, absolutely.
Well, Ms. Crabby, once again, you'll have to do the order withdrawing the bench warrant for September, because he's now paid September. Mr. Latrell, if you don't pay by the 10th, she's going to issue another bench warrant.
I realize, Your Honor, and I'm going to do my best to make sure we don't have this conversation again.
And if you would just get paid a month ahead, we could not only quit having the conversation, we could quit having these hearings.
That's my goal, Your Honor. That's my goal.
Next hearing, Mr. Latrell, October 15th at 9:30.
I will see you then.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, Miss Furlan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.
Every move I make, I have to make sure that he's okay with it, how he can spin it, and how he can use it against me and use it against me in court. And that's how I have become this person that I am so proud of today. The fact that you are sitting here and saying my kids don't deserve to have their mother. Why is it okay for this man to have truancy charges? Why is it okay for him to not push school on the kids? Why is it okay for him to be living in a bed bug infested house, almost foreclosed on, and everyone's okay with it? Why are you okay